Hey, I want to show you something that I found pretty interesting about our latest application, a connected IoT belt scale. And what we've is our board, and then the piece that I want to show that's kind of interesting is how we measure speed. So this is a motor, and it's a permanent magnet motor. And when you turn it, there's actually going to be a voltage signal that I think looks like a sine wave. And basically, we're turning that sine wave with some capacitors and diodes into into a DC voltage that we can measure. And over here at Grafana, the top one, this is a speed sensor. And what I found was interesting was when you turn it on, the voltage goes up to whatever the voltage reading is, and when you shut it off, the capacitors, it takes a while for it to dissipate, so you end up getting, it's not immediately going down to zero, which I think is actually a little bug we need to fix. So I'm going to show you kind of it in action. So we turn the speed sensor on, and we're going to turn the oscillating or the sine wave into that DC voltage, and so we'll let this stabilize. And then for our application, we want to have it where when we turn it off, it at least within a second or half second goes back down to zero. So I'm going to go ahead and just shut this off. And since we have those capacitors, it kind of tapers. And it kind of surprised me. The capacitors actually, there's quite a bit of capacitance apparently. It takes a while for it to discharge. And apparently there's a formula for that. But you can see here the capacitors are discharging, and it takes a good bit of time. So for sampling every 5 seconds, so for sampling every 5 seconds, there's going to be quite a lot of uncertainty and error. If we're sampling like every 20 minutes, it probably doesn't matter. So I think there's probably going to be some formula that says like how often your sample rate is. Let's do it one more time. Let's turn this back on. So it's gonna go back up to its voltage for however fast the RPM is, and then it tapers off. So this is just something that I thought was kind of interesting, kind of learning the electronics as I go, and seeing, I thought like capacitors discharged quickly, but it's interesting to see how long that they actually stay charged. See ya.